Good morning, children. So already you know that we are studying the concept of lesson diversity of living organism, or we can tell it as classification of living organism. So in this chapter, we have already studied about the classification, importance of classification. Then we studied about hierarchy of classification. Then classification of animals, how it is done. We are yet to study. We have already studied the five kingdom classification. We have completed characteristics of Monera kingdom, characteristics of Protista, characteristics of Mycota. We have studied already. So, and I told you about already the characteristics of kingdom Plantae also. How it is divided, how the kingdom Plantae is classified, how it is classified, on what basis they are classified. Already I told you. So the plant kingdom is classified on the basis of the body structure. So if it is having complex body like roots with root, stem, and leaves, they are classified on that basis. They are classified. Then they are classified on the basis of presence of the presence of the vascular bundle. On depending on the vascular bundle, again they are divided: non-vascular plants, vascular plants. So again under vascular plants, again the vascular plants again are divided on the basis of presence of seed and not presence of seed. So seedless, the plant which do not produce seed, and the plant which produce seed. So plant which do not produce seed, that group is called pteridophytes. The plant which produce seed are again divided into two. Seeds are covered with a fruit and seeds are not covered with a fruit. The plants in which seeds are covered with a fruit are called angiosperms. The plants with seed without a fruit, they are called as gymnosperm. Like that we divide. So in that we have studied already the multicellular algae. Today we will study about bryophytes, bryophyta or bryophyte. These are called as amphibians of plant kingdom. Because they are not completely dependent on water. They are not completely living the water. Means they are partially need of water. Partially need of water means in the absence of completely water, it cannot grow. So usually amphibians of plant kingdom means they live on land and water, where the water is in the land only they live, but water they need water the most. More amount of water it needs. But not they cannot grow inside the water. No, they cannot grow. But they grow in the land where the plenty of water is, the moisture is there. Moisture should be there. Usually these plants are observed in the rainy season. So now also we can observe. I'll show you the picture. The next class, all the picture we'll see. I'll share the picture in the next class, so that you can see all that. All algae you can see, bryophytes, pteridophytes. I'll show you. So they are called amphibians because without water. Because why they are called like that? Because without water, they cannot complete their life cycle. They cannot complete their life cycle. That's why. Then they are eukaryotic So all the organisms which are made up of, they are eukaryotic, multicellular, autotrophic, multicellular, autotrophic in nature. Nature. The plant body is called thallus, thallus, thallus. And see, these plants actually, they do not have complex body structure. Means they do not have definite root, stem, or leaves. Definite. They are not definite. Body structure is there, but they look like root, they look like stem, they look like leaves. But completely they are not. They do not have complex body structure. So non-vascular plants, they do not have vascular bundle. Non-vascular plants. Xylem and phloem are absent actually. Simple diffusion, simple transportation of water happens inside the body. Bryophytes are two types. One is called as mosses. Another is called as liverworts. Mosses and liverworts. So mosses look like this. These are mosses. And liverworts, they look like this. In the rainy season, you may be observed the plant group of so the patches like this patches on the wet soil or moist soil or in the garden, you may be observed like this structure, green flat structure, flat it is. Maybe observed. I'll show you what is that in the next class. See, like this flat structure, you may be observed. So one of this flat structure I have shown here. These are called liverworts. Liverworts we call it as. Understood? Then mosses. They look like, see, completely they look like plant. Actually, they are not completely root. They are called as rhizoids actually. Roots are like rhizoids, columnar rhizoids. These are leaves. So they are not completely leaves. They are very small. These are very tiny plants. You can observe these plants. In a rainy season, these plants usually grow. On the wall of the compound. They grow. And if you touch it, you will feel like you are touching an velvet paper, like very smooth like that. Mosses. So, if regular school was there, I would have taken one field visit. Usually, I take for this chapter, I'll take field visit. We would have observed all these plants here only nearby our school. But so as you know that, so physical classes are not possible. So I'll try to show the picture or a live specimen. I'll show you. So these are the mosses and liverworts. These are the two types of bryophytes plants. Maybe you have observed this on the compound walls or the walls. It will be like a velvet paper. If you touch it, very smooth valued paper. Small plants put together, they make that structure actually. This also this is one plant. It is one plant. Such plants like arranged like this in a circle. Patch it will be observed in the bunds, in the river bunds or in the ladder or the soil. They will be attached attached to the soil because they have rhizoids. These are structure rhizoids. They have a root-like structure called as rhizode, which will help in the absorption of water. Root-like structures called rhizoids, which help in the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. See, understood? So reproduction. So life cycle of these plants has two phases, two phases. Two phases are there. So life cycle, see, I hope it is visible to you. Two phase. So this is sporophyte, and this is gametophyte. So gametophyte, and this is sporophyte. Gametophyte and sporophyte. So gametophyte is a gamete producing phase, and sporophyte is spore producing phase. Yeah. Sporophyte, gametophyte. See. So this is a gametophyte. This is a gametophyte. So these produce gametes. This produce gamete. Is it clear? They produce. So this produce spores. Sorry, it produce spores. Spores are produced. The spores here. I wrote here gametes. So the male gametes are produced. Male gamete is produced, and female gamete is produced. Female gamete is produced. Female gamete is produced. So that's why this structure is called as gametophyte. Gametophyte. Understood? So gametes are produced. This male gamete is produced by the male organ called as antheridia. You just remember the male gamete. Gametophyte produces male gamete and female gametes. So these both fuse together. So male gamete and female gametes. Male gamete, say, so male gamete and female gamete. So they fuse together to form zygote. Last year in the 8th class, you have studied about the sexual reproduction in higher plants. In that you have come across these gametes and all. See, this is the gametophyte. This will have a special structures called antheridia and archegonia. So they produce the gamete, male gamete and female gametes are produced. These fuse together to form zygote. The zygote will grow into new sporophyte. See, new sporophyte will be produced. So, better to draw this in a middle so that is it clear? So, if you like the life cycle of these plants will have two phases. One is gametophytic phase and sporophytic phase. Sporophytic phase. Is it clear? So here actually the sporophyte actually depend on gametophyte. Sporophyte depends on the gametophyte. So here gametophyte, you understand gametophyte? Gametophyte is the phase where gametes are released. Gametes are released. These gametes will fuse together to form zygote. The zygote will develop into new sporophyte. Again, so why it is called sporophyte? Because it releases spores. It releases spores. It releases spores. Spores develop into new gametophyte. New gametophyte. Like that, sporophytic develops to develop gametophyte. Gametophyte develops sporophyte. So sporophyte develops into gametophyte. Gametophyte develops into sporophyte. Sporophyte means spore releasing phase. Spores releasing phase. Gametophyte means gamete releasing phase. This type of two phase, this is called as alternation of generation. Alternation of generation. Alternation of generation is seen in the group of plant. In a group of plant. I hope you understood this. Have you understood this concept? Alternation of generation. So this yeah, one message I got Vaishnavi yeah, message others I don't know what happened. You understood or not? So life cycle of these plants will have two phases. One phase is called gametophyte, another phase is called sporophyte. Gametophyte means gamete producing phase. Gametes are produced. These gametes will fuse together to form zygote. Zygote develops into spores. And the spores, see, the zygote develops into sporophyte. Sporophyte develops spores. Spores develop into new gametophyte. Remember like this, sporophyte develops gametophyte, gametophyte develops sporophyte. This is called as alternation of generation. Alternation of generation. Here actually sporophyte is dependent on gametophyte. Sporophyte is dependent on gametophyte. Like that. Understood? So this is about the life cycle of the bryophytes and the characteristics of the bryophytes. Understood? So importance. See, they are. See, I told you these are very soft like. Actually, these are used in the packing of flowers. Packing of flowers during the transportation, packing has to be done flowers. So packing it is used, and these actually these mosses actually they contribute to the fossil fuels. They contribute to the fossil fuels. So when they die, they contribute to the formation of fossil fuels. One, sorry. And when they are grown in the garden, they retain the moisture content. They retain the moisture content. That is the one thing it will do. Understood? So they have some economic importance also. I hope you understood this. So we'll move to the one more group of plant. one more group of plant, that is pteridophytes. 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 See, these are eukaryotic, autotrophic, vascular plants. So already you know vascular plants. They are called tracheophytes. Why they are called tracheophytes? Because they actually has vascular bundle. That's why they are called as vascular bundle. Vascular bundle is there. That's why they are called as tracheophytes. They grow in moist soil. This is commonly found in evergreen forests and semi-evergreen forest. So in the dry land, it cannot grow. It needs moisture. They need moisture actually. The plant body is divided into root, stem, and leaves. Complete root, complete leaves. Understood? So, the plant body is sporophyte. Plant body is sporophyte. Really, what is that? So I'll draw one picture of the plant. These are also very small, tiny plants. So these are usually present in gardens or areca plantation. So these are called roots, stem, leaves, sporophyte. Yeah, see here. This is the structure of plant body. The plant body will have roots, stem, leaves. Very tiny plant which is observed in the garden or areca plantation. Say in the Western Ghats it is most common. So examples you can give. These plants are usually present in the garden or areca plantation. Usually Western Ghats forest they are very common. They are actually large trees also are there. Means large plants are like they look like shrubs. Large group of plants are also there. Salazina, it is given in your textbook. They have given some of the pictures over here, page number Yeah, page number 87. You can see here in this they are given the picture. So they have given forms commonly called as forms. Marsilia is given here. So Marsilia is given here. See, Marsilia is given. So these are actually Salaginella, Marsilia is there. Marsilia is there. Understood. For commonly called as ferns, commonly called ferns, large plants are called as ferns actually. Large. Just a minute. Yeah, children, see, I have brought this plant. I have, see, this is the plant. These are the group of plants. See, this is. So these are called as ferns. So this, I hope you have seen this because in our area we also fall under Western Ghats, no? So rich forest is there. These are the common plant we can see in our garden, coconut plantation nearby our houses and all. So I hope that you have seen this. See, you can see here black spots are there. These black spots on the side of the leaves, ventral side, they are called spores. Actually, they are spores. So I hope you have seen these type of plants. So these are called as ferns. These are called as ferns. See here. Here there is a. Here it is. The base it is. Roots are there. Stem. So these are leaves. These are leaves. So this type of plants are called as ferns. Is it clear? So this type of plant. So they are very small also like the Salaginella if you take. So Lycopodium, you can give one more example. Example like Lycopodium. So many examples you can give, okay? Understood? So in this, here also alteration of generation can be seen, can be observed. Understood? So life cycle of these plants have two phases, sporophyte and gametophyte. Similar like that. Here. So this is sporophyte. This is a sporophytic phase where it releases spores. The spores develop a gametophyte. The gametophyte produces gametes. So male gamete and female gamete. Both will fuse together to form zygote. The zygote develops into new sporophytes. Here. So this is sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase. Here also the life cycle will have two phases, sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase. Understood? Means these plants actually reproduce by sexual method as well as asexual method. So this is about the life cycle of the and characteristics of the group of plant called as pteridophytes. Understood? So these are also having economic importance. The economic importance is that they are used in Ayurvedic medicine also. They are used as Ayurvedic medicine also. They are used to make flower bouquets. Flower bouquets are done. Bouquets are done by these plants. Understood? So decorative purposes they are used. So these are the two economic importance of this group of plant. I hope you have understood the concept. So if you have any doubt, please let me know. I hope you understood. If you have understood, please raise your hands. Or if you have any doubt, please type in the chat box so that I can reply you. Yeah, thank you very much. So please go through the textbook, read the textbook. If I have any doubt, you can just call me. Huh? Okay then. Yeah, thank you very much. So we'll end the class today. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.